So under this webinar series, we have arranged a set of webinars covering all areas relevant to the veterinary field, especially upgrading the knowledge and experience of our veterinarians. Today's topic we selected is advanced dairy record analysis. For this, we have invited two eminent, experienced veterinarians, those who have local and foreign experience as well. And so, Dr. Sameera Premarathne and Dr. Iroshana Kulathunga will be the resource persons today. So before starting today's webinar, I would like to invite the president of Sri Lanka Veterinary Association, Dr. Sugat Premarathne, Sugat Premajit, to welcome you all. Thank you, Dr. Sugat.
Thank you, Dr. Disnaka. Welcome you all first. First of all, I would like to thank and welcome Dr. Sameera Premarathne and Dr. Iroshana Kulathunga to the webinar. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to conduct these two webinars. I can remember both of you conducted many webinars for SLVA. We highly appreciate your support as always. I think this is the third time both of you are doing webinars for SLVA. At the same time, I would like to welcome our participants. All are welcome to today's webinar. And also I want to say we have organized many programs, over 24 webinars in this year to support to the industry and our veterinarian, comprising all the areas, large animal, equine, wildlife, aquaculture, companion animals, and zoo animals. We are conducting many webinars and workshops to support all the veterinarian in Sri Lanka Veterinary Association. Right. So our next webinar will be on 25th, and that is scientific creatinine, and 27th ultrasonography webinar. That is conducted by Sri Lanka Veterinary Association, hosted by Sri Lanka Veterinary Association. So I request you all to engage with SLV activities in this year. This year will be the highest number of project, that means webinars, lectures, practical sessions will be conducted in the history of SLVA. So I would like to invite you all to join with that programs, and welcome you all to the webinar, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sugat Premchandra, the president of SLVA. Now we're going to start the webinar today. So before introducing the resource persons, I would like to invite and I would like to request from you to keep your mics off. And if you have any questions at the end, we'll hold a Q&A session. There you can raise hand, or you can directly switch on your mic and question from the resource persons. So today's first session will be done by Dr. Sameera Premarathne. The second session will be done by Dr. Iroshana Kulathunga. So this session will be 2 hours. First will be done by Dr. Sameera. Dr. Sameera Premarathne is currently working in Obihiro University of Agriculture and Veterinary Medicine in Japan as a specially appointed researcher. As I told, he graduated as a veterinarian from the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine and Animal Science, University of Premarathne. After that, he worked for a short period as a lecturer and farm animal clinician in the same faculty. Later on, he joined with NLDB and worked for about 13 years. Especially, he worked in large-scale dairy farms, poultry, swine, and small ruminant farms. During that period, he completed his master's in animal science from Postgraduate Institute of Animal Science, University of Premarathne. He is also a fellow of Sri Lanka College of Veterinary Surgeons, and he have shown his passion in research and research publication during his entire career. So later he joined again with the market-oriented dairy project before leaving to Japan. And there in Japan, he obtained his PhD recently in this university, Obihiro University, and currently he's working as a researcher there. So with that lot of experience in local and foreign uh, farming, and especially on dairy, he has a lot to talk on dairy record keeping. He has experience in Sri Lanka in large scale dairies, and he's aware about record keeping and their analysis, and also in abroad. So, without taking much time, I would like to invite Dr. Sameera Premarathne to start the webinar with his lecture. Thank you. Dr. Sameera, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Disnaga and Dr. Sogat for inviting me for this webinar. And also, I am very happy to participate this webinar series. Actually, this is really important. So without taking much time, I will start my presentation. Is that okay if I share now?
Yes, Dr. Yes, you can.
Okay. So can you all see?
Yes, Dr. Sameera, if you can make it full screen, that would be fine.
Okay. So it's now full screen here.
It's appear in two screen to us. The next slide also appears.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it full screen now?
Not still that the next slide also appears on the right side of the screen, on the same screen. If you can, yes, now it's right.
It's okay now, right?
Yes, please go ahead. Yeah, good.
Can you all see now?
No, that before that it appeared again. It came as two slides.
Okay. I think now it's almost okay. I think so.
Yes, fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah. So before I go into the presentation, I will just briefly explain what is the outline of my presentation. So it contains some background and objectives, some of the information of the advanced dairy record analysis, and also modern methods of data collection in dairy farming, some of the research findings and the applications of, I mean, about dairy recording systems, different kind of researches already done, and some briefings on data-driven sustainability in some other developed countries like Netherlands, Japan, and USA. Very small, one or two slides perhaps, and another sample template for data recording. Excel-based format in which I used in Sri Lanka, and also what are the outcomes of this dairy record analysis. So let's see what are the drivers of advanced records analysis of dairy farmings. And so we all know the demand for the milk, which is rising day by day. Therefore, we need some huge volume of milk daily. We need to improve the milk production. Therefore, we need some kind of extra strategy to improve the milk production of cows. And the parallelly, the feed cost and everything, the rising day by day. So we need to minimize the production cost and to optimize the productivity of farms. And also, based on the technological advancement, nowadays there are lots of data coming. Especially large-scale dairy farming systems, there are massive sets of data is available to analyze. Based on these analyses, we can just predict what is happening in future, what will be the next step, and what should we take some actions to minimize if there are some issues. So the shifting from reactive to proactive strategies is important. Therefore, the advanced analysis is essential. And also, based on the current situation, so world is, as we all know, we are talking about animal welfare. So to improve animal welfare, which is directly connected to the performance of their production aspects as well as other things. So to improve animal well-being, there are some data, and people are checking for special findings on animal welfare perspectives. And also the world actually nowadays is the experiencing kind of a problem with labor shortages. So to cope up with this issue, we need some kind of the correct pathway and right decision making. Therefore, we need some extra data rather than the data that we used at the moment or traditional systems. And also the technological progresses like AI and machine learning gives us some novel thinking or novel analysis for data, rather than doing some basic statistics or some other things. And also market demand and the competitiveness to the decision making is really important at this point. Therefore, we need some extra data, how the market is going on, to identify market trends and other business perspectives. And also, the decision actually should be evidence-based. It's not, so what we predict based on some visual things. So we need really what is happening really inside the farm, really inside the animal, what's happening. So these are the drivers of advanced dairy record analysis. And this is also similar, these two slides. So I will, that figure shows all of the things. And so what are the benefits of, let's see, what are the benefits of these advanced record analysis? So we can actually, so based on the data, we can set clear goals for our operation based on the animal number and the type of operation like production or processing or whatever it is. So then we can set up some clear goals for analysis. And also based on that, we can choose what system should be used. I mean, so what are the equipment that we can use for getting records, and also the collection of data. The data should be accurate and it should not be biased. And gather information and analysis is really important to identify the trends. That 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 helps us to take some action to correct the existing issue, or we can predict, and then we can train our staff to how they should get data, and how their data handling, how they do the correct way of data handling. And if necessary, we can get some further advices from consultants or to improve the system. Those are the main things actually, what we can see in modern dairy record analysis. And to boost the milk production, we need data, as I told you. Then the production reproductive efficiency, to where should we, I mean, the insemination time and other things. And to monitor animal health, we can get kind of indicators to get, for example, mastitis is one of the problem, and lameness and other diseases as well. So just appear in the clinical illness, before that we can get some signals even couple of days or even 2-3 days before. Then we can, we know that something is happening for this cow, and then we need to focus on this cow to remove that issue. So, and also optimize feeding strategies helps us to minimize wastage of feeding. So, and cost of feed is very critical at this time. So, the minimize wastage and optimize the feeding strategies is really necessary. Also, the financial planning aspects, this is critical for especially dairy as a business. We need some to identify trends and other things, what is happening, and so how we can reduce cost. So therefore we need accurate data. So, and also some regulatory compliances, for example, as we now we are talking about climate smart dairy and something like that, which is critical, especially in large scale dairy farming, and especially in the developed countries. Even in Sri Lanka as well, we are talking about that. So we need some the strategies to develop those things. Therefore, we need extra data to analyze the real issue. And also, so that helps to improve the genetics as well, to increase milk production. Therefore, it is really necessary to move towards advanced dairy records analysis system. So let's see the problems. As we all know, we can see one of the problems in farms, but it's like an iceberg, because the most lies beneath the surface, and there are lots of things are happening inside, underneath the surface. And for instance, milk production drop. So we can see mastitis, but there are some other factors inside this issue. So that what we do is using advanced analysis is finding those other factors along with mastitis. And so that data is real time, and we can move towards early intervention, and we can get some precise action and precise cause to the behind this issue, which helps us to minimize losses. Let's see the dairy as a business, because as we all know, as other industries, we are just thinking of, yeah, it's a farm, but it's a business in case of large scale dairying. Also small scale dairying, it is a business. And what we need is we need profit, and we need we need good money, as well as the benefits of animals. And so there are lots of records are coming from different departments, like animal unit. We have certain categories of animals like milking, dry cows, heifers, calves, and there are individual records are coming on reproduction, their health, nutrition, and growth records. There are plenty of data coming. On the other hand, in the processing, some farms, they produce milk and they process, and they have quantitative and qualitative analysis. Also, on the other hand, they have different inventories like machineries and feed inventories. And of course, they sell manure. And the other thing is they need weather records to predict what's happening, and financial and HR sort of things. So all these, this picture represents the overall farm performance. And what we need is we need to evaluate, and then what's happening inside, whether we need some improvements or not, or how we can minimize our losses. So we can get some predictions and discuss. That is important. When we get some analytical data, we need to discuss it. That is important, and then can make the decision correctly, which improves and which makes the business as a sustainable way. So the difference, between traditional and modern analysis is quite clear, and from the data collection, and it is almost manual and some periodic records. But in modern analysis, we get real-time data, and we used automated systems, sensors, a certain kind of sensors, and automatic milking systems like milk robots. And the volume of data is really high compared to traditional methods. In modern analysis, we have large scale data that is called big data, and we are handling a large quantity of data daily. And we need certain advanced sort of things to analyze them, rather than using basic statistics, which we are using in traditional analytical methods. But the clear difference between a traditional analysis is we just react. We get the issue and then we react accordingly. But the modern system, we predict, then we get predictive actions. So that is kind of a clear difference between those two setups. And also, a traditional way system is quite late and based on some visual observations. But in modern analytical systems, that is really, well in advance, we can get the data, or we can get the hint for the problem, and which is clearly data-driven detection. And we get individual animal basis. That is called the precision. Especially for feeding, we use herd level, for herd, 10 kilograms per animal. Then we calculate how much of, how quantity of feed, how many kilograms, the tons we need. But here in advanced situations, that is precision feeding, individual cow basis. And of course, it is automated mostly, and high manual effort we have to put during traditional, management systems. Let's talk about a bit on, precision dairy technologies. So of course, there are two figures. Figure A, we can see rumination collar. As you all see, we can use that to monitor the rumination, which is a kind of indicator for certain kind of health issues. So using that, we can get some hints what's happening next. And there are certain other things like ear track based accelerometers and also pedometers are being used in developed countries, perhaps in Sri Lanka, some of the farms like, Ambevela or maybe NLDB upcountry farms also, they have something like this. So those are called some wearable sensors. They are integrated into software, and then to our mobile phone, we can get quickly the data, which enables early detection, and we can attend to that issue very well in advance. And automatic, milk robots are used in different farms to collect data. In developed countries like Netherlands, they often use these milk robots, so which is the data-driven milking, up-to-date one, and we simultaneously we control milk quality and complete milking, and the cow is very freely available for milking without any discomfort, and we can monitor the milk schedules and the easy access to feed. The cow is coming, and then it comes inside, and then it gets the feed allowance based on her performance, and the body weight and other things they calculate it automatically, and that helps to reduce wastage and also the user-friendly way, and reduce the manual, labor sort of things, which improves. So we don't need to push cows, and the cow is coming, and then it's very freely available for treatments and to optimize some interaction between other animals also. It available 24 hours. And this is another research which I came across. So this is kind of a novel things, Internet of Things, like IoT system, then connects into the cloud, and they detect the cow's faces, and then they extract the different features and then compare the similarity. What will happen if this mode is not good, then what will happen? So it helps long-term analysis, individual cow feeding behavior, and also feeding the seasonal changes. So there are new things nowadays, people studying those things to improve, to minimize wastage, to optimize production, and long-lasting, the sustainability. Another thing that automatic calf feeders, the data are coming the early age, the calves are really sensitive for different diseases. So, and also their growth is really important. And these calf feed rest gives us some drinking behavior and performance of each animal individual basis, and it helps to detect health problems earlier rather than their rather than the animal get sick. So and also it ensures the optimal rearing period also, which saves the labor, and it helps to improve the hygiene as well, and also it promotes group housing system, so they can interact each other and freely available, no calf boxes, and very good growth. So this is another thing that accelerometers and sensors that measure acceleration in 3 axes like X, Y, Z, and then they capture movement, posture, orientation, and everything, and therefore we can get what's happening individual basis. So useful devices are available nowadays to improve health and production perspectives. And so let's see some of the findings of the analysis of data came from these devices. As I told you earlier, the rumination is kind of a key indicator of cows' health and well-being. So as you will see, number 1, which is a healthy one, so it has optimum curve. That curve is go ahead compared to others like light ketosis or moderate metritis or displaced abomasum. So we can see what's happening inside the animal based on these facts and figures. This is another health monitoring result, and the rumination time. So of course, the number 1. So as you can see, number 1, cow slowly starts dropping rumination. The rumination drops before milk yield dropped. And so number 2, of course, cow shows slightly some lameness symptoms, like so before lameness appear, the rumination declined, and then we treat it. So once we see it, so of course we know we see there's a problem with the foot, so we treat it with anti-inflammatory, and then you can see gradually all of a sudden it comes to normal rumination in number 3.
Sorry, Dr. Sameera, there's some lines appearing on the screen, so maybe
No,
someone has by mistake
yeah.
done some lines on this one. So if the host can or the moderator, someone who's doing this.
Dr. Disnagar, sometime it will come, but please ignore it and continue, right?
Okay.
Okay. So this one, actually, what we see is a kind of recovery follow-up. So as you will see, number 1, cow decrease eating a day previous to drop rumination. So if you can see the eating, which is the the green line, it drops here. And then later it diagnosed as clinical mastitis and treated with antibiotics. Then now cow will start recovering here in number 3. Then cow returns to normal level of rumination. All of these data, I mean, this is real-time basis. Therefore, we can get clear picture and we can track the record. So otherwise we get, perhaps we know after a couple of days, it drops milk production, perhaps cow may die. Therefore, these monitoring systems are really essential, although, I mean, maybe it's expensive, but it recovers, I mean, the money that by saving that animal. And also this is another thing that the number 1, we can see cow, the calving, the delivery of calf, and then number 2, the cow treated for milk fever and some retained placenta at something, then gradually cow recovering with the treatments, and cow drop rumination again and treated with antibiotics, and then cow recovers. So this is the time lapse between actions. We can do that as much as quickly when the data is coming, when the data comes to our phone or the device or whatever it is. So without wasting much time and without wasting milk production, and some perhaps cow may die. Therefore, we can save a lot of things using these real-time alerts. And in this case, so the heat behavior and rumination, like the pink one is rumination, and the green one is, the blue one is heat detection behavior. So of course you can see here suddenly they drop the rumination, but I mean, there's a peak of this heat behavior. So there's a connection between that. Therefore, so these are really important, I mean, in daily management systems. This is another example that optimizing insemination timing in cows. And based on those devices, we can get the optimum timing for artificial insemination. According to this figure, that best conception between 4 and 9 hours after heat alert. Therefore, we can, I mean, if we miss this, we have to wait for another 21 days, perhaps extended period, because so we missed that heat. Therefore, we lost ample amount of money, especially, I mean, in large farms. If we miss that, we know how hard to recover our cash flow. This is, I mean, another research finding on welfare assessment using accelerometers, some devices like what I explained earlier. So it shows that there are differences among I mean, housed and pasture-based systems based on the activity level. I mean, mean standing duration is a little high on pasture, and the other thing means standard bout duration is also bit high in pasture system, and the mean maximum line bout duration is high a little bit, but there is no significance among these figures. And also means step count is very high in pasture system. So the activity level monitoring, so we can adjust our management system based on these figures. This is also another.
Dr. Iroshana, can I interrupt you? Right? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Can I interrupt you?
Okay.
Yeah. There's a mark in the left side, like a pen. You can just tick on that and you can delete that red mark, right?
Pen.
Then it's easy for others to understand the values. There's a T RS. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. This is actually qualitative behavior assessment data. And it's like different, I mean, things like irritability, calmness, social, apathetic, happy, relaxed, fearful, and kind of social activities. So what you can see here is cow is happy on the pasture and almost relaxed. And yeah, so yeah, those are some of the findings from these devices. Yeah. This picture actually I got from one of the larger dairy farms in Florida. If you can see in this background, how many cows are sleeping, and the bedding is sand, and also location of fan installments and their cooling systems. So all these this is it looks like Ridiyagama dairy farm, but the thing is these people, they use different, I mean, data collection methods, like what I said earlier, to improve their comfort. So those are one of the outcomes of these results. And this one also, in the similar farm perhaps, the calves are rearing on sand, which improves their performances. And all these are based on the data and advanced analysis done by the management. And I would like to show you some of the one of the comparisons, like the dairy farms in the Netherlands, the classified according to the type of milking parlor. So in 2015, if you can see here, the milking parlors, the number of milking parlors are 17,000, I mean almost 18,000. And out of this, 20.6% is automatic milking systems. But when it comes to 2023, the number of parlors decreased, but 35.1% is automatic milking systems. And that trend clearly shows that how they move forward with the data, because the Netherlands is, almost 2/3 of Sri Lanka, the total extent, 40,000 square kilometers, and how they develop is one of the examples for this situation. And of course, you can see here in 2015, the average milk yield per cow is 18,500 kilograms. But when it comes to 2023, it's almost 9,500 or something. So gradual increase in the production, and the technology, and they improve their productivity based on those things. And also, if you can see the last row, you can see the number of farms also they decreased and their productivity increased. So based on this technological advancement and the advanced analysis, the reason behind that. And some data-driven sustainability in dairy. So I was able to visit certain farms in the Netherlands, Japan, and also in Florida, and 3 different locations. The Florida is a bit similar to Sri Lanka. That condition is they're struggling with heat stress and other things. The Netherlands is smaller than Sri Lanka, and also their climate also a bit cold. But in Japan, where currently I'm living, is they have very lengthy winter, more than 6 months here in Obihiro. So, but they have common things. Compared to other underdeveloped countries, because they have very productive management system based on these advanced data analysis, and they have the national dairy herd improvement infrastructure, which is the traceability is very high, especially in Japan. They are the individual cow, they have a unique identification system, 10 digits. And we can see in the supermarket also, if we get kind of a meat slice, so we can, trace from which animal this meat is coming, something like that. And also climate relevant performance monitoring and comprehensive cow level data collection, precision dairy technologies they used. And also there's another thing that we can see is they have very strong collaboration and a connection between the universities and industries. And also the decision making is based on the clear data-driven decisions they are getting based on the advanced analytical systems. And I'm now just moving towards a little bit on record and some analytical systems, but maybe Dr. Iroshana will explain further on this. Herd reproduction and other things that they are using in New Zealand. So what we simply what we need is to based on these records, we can get where we are, and what we should do and what should be our target and achievement. We day by day, I mean, real-time basis, we can compare. So whether we are reaching the target, whether we are well behind the target. So then that comes from data analysis. Yeah, these are some of the examples of some maintaining indicators. So moving towards, I mean, simple data recording template, I mean, which we used in NLDB during my time, and I think still they use this one for dairy farm monitoring, perhaps maybe upgraded ones. So what we do is we have different we use different Excel sheets for different I mean, milking herd, dry herd, heifers, and something like that. So this is kind of simple thing, but of course we monitor this regularly without I mean without interrupting them. So we don't have different software systems in each farm, but except some other farms like Manikpalam, Bopatkala, or Ridiagam. But we use this for other farms like Coconut Triangle and other mid-country and some other dairy farms. So if you can see here, so the identification is really important. We always struggling to get the correct identification. In Sri Lankan context, as we all know, the number is quite changing. So, but that should not be. So we need a correct identification number, and then we get the date of birth and weight gain monthly. And we analyzed and we set some targets. So what is the weight gain of this animal? How many animals we have? And one by one, how much weight gain we need to get from this heifer. And this is about milk for milking herd. We need actually identification, and there are other data like breed and everything, date of birth, the last calving date, and lactation number, and the other things like average lactation length, number of functional teats, and average milk production, last service dates. What is the number, I mean, semen identification number, and pregnant or not. So every month we do pregnancy diagnosis each month. And there's another thing that we, of course, we used really how can I say, the pregnancy diagnosis is really important, especially in Sri Lanka, because I know most of the time in the field, the ones they inseminated, perhaps they checked after a couple of months, perhaps they missed, and that sort of things are happening. So the monthly pregnancy diagnosis, I mean, every 45 days, perhaps we can check pregnancy diagnosis and using this sheet, and we get the decision whether this animal is we have to cull or not, whatever, and important decision making. And this is kind of feed inventory. and the the content of green roughages and concentrates that we used daily basis. We can record it. And finally, we get the summary of the herd each month, that is called livestock return, and it contains different parameters here. And it consists of animal, production perspectives and reproduction, and their feeding and the feed inventory, the silage stock that we used, and the green forages, the available, and then we get the action, how to regrow them and purchase whatever. And the disposals as well, births and disposals, and another thing like concentrate feeding. So I'm just going too fast, maybe because of this the time limitation. And finally, what we can do is, this is kind of herd projection, just simple one sheet. So for a farm operation, we can just make a kind of herd projection based on our record analysis throughout the year, and it helps to make budget proposals and plan the next year, where we are and where we can go based on past figures. We make this. So how many animals that we are going to keep, how many sales, and how many of them are culling. We need some animals to purchase to maintain our herd, something like that. And we set some performances and some criteria. So it's, we can customize this accordingly. And ultimately, what we expect from this advanced analysis is improving our milk yield and animal health, and it helps us to develop kind of regulations and certain strategies in not only a single farm basis, whole country, the national level things, and also can optimize the production and the minimize wastage, which helps us to improve sustainability, both the long-term environmental sustainability I'm talking. Then finally, that helps us to improve the food security and improve milk production. It helps us, and economic growth. Yeah. So this is actually end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Sameera Premarathne. And it was a very informative and very detailed presentation. Thank you very much for enlightening our veterinarians on this importance of data analysis. And you covered the main areas like the importance of data analysis and methods available, and some other examples of data analysis with your local and foreign experience. I think the participants may have questions to discuss with you. So now the platform is open for the participants to ask any questions if you want, if you have, and either you can directly ask from Dr. Sameera, or else you can type your questions in the chat box. The floor is open now. So before getting questions, would you like to answer one question? Like, so in Sri Lankan context, we have seen the large dairy farms are using Tail Pro, Alpro, and Dairy Live, like some similar programs, uh, es- especially for the large dairies. But do you have any experience of using this kind of software or programs which can be applied in a small scale or kind of in field uh, level practice? Are there such programs available if you have come across?
Yeah, one thing that actually that so as we all know that Dairy Live program. Um, so I mean we do have I mean let's say for example a particular veterinary range. We have different different heads of animals. Maybe free versions as well as some paid versions.
Some disturbance there.
Okay. Since it is, available for large number of heads, per veterinary range basis, perhaps vet surgeon or other technical people, perhaps they can get that for, individual entering individual calves as a single farm. One of the suggestions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, others, do you have any questions to ask from Dr. Sameera? If not, we can directly move into the other resource person, and then at the end uh, we can ask question from both resource persons. They will be available. So so next, let me move into the next speaker, Dr. Iroshana Kulathunga. Uh, Dr. Iroshana is also well experienced large animal veterinarian. He graduated in 2013 from the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine and Animal Science, University of Peradeniya, and then he joined NLDB, National Livestock Development Board, and there he worked as a veterinarian in large dairy farms, especially in country farms, and for several years. And then he worked as a farm manager in Fonterra brand Sri Lanka, also for a few years before moving into New Zealand. So then he moved to New Zealand and he started his career as farm manager. He has worked or managed several dairy farms in New Zealand, and he has a lot of experience in record keeping and analysis also. And currently, he's living in New Zealand and he's reading for the exam in Australian Veterinary Board. So, without much taking much time, I would like to invite Dr. Iroshana Kulathunga to deliver his speech and do the presentation. Thank you. Dr. Iroshana, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Disnagar. And thank you very much for inviting me. And I'm very happy to be here and talk and give my experience, what I have learned here. And without further delay, I will start my presentation. I name it as actually advanced dairy record in New Zealand. So management practices, I'm going to mostly talk about the management practices, how we can apply that one into Sri Lankan situation and how we apply in New Zealand situation. And currently I'm working in a veterinary clinic, working for my final clinical examination to be registered in New Zealand. This is the content that I'm going to cover today, why the dairy record analysis is matters, and what are the just a snapshot of New Zealand dairy sector, and what is the good data source, and what we can do from the good sales data, and what are the farm data categories, how we can use those for our maximum productivity, and the next one, I'm going to talk about strict rules and regulation, because that is very important one. And if you are going to improve the herd productivity as a country, strict rules and regulation is very important. So that's why this one is practicing in New Zealand very high standards. And why dairy record analysis is matter. So we need to think about the national levels as well as the small farm levels as well. So when you think about the whole herd or whole population or whole as country, so for the national milk production and enables traceability and disease surveillance, that is a very important one. So if something happens or some disease, exotic disease happens to New Zealand, so we need to trace that one from where it happens and how it's uh, uh, distribute among New Zealand farmers. So it's very important. And the support reproductive efficiency at population level. So reproduction is very important one, because the New Zealand farmers practice the seasonal dairy farming, seasonal calving pattern, not like any other countries. And not here, most of the farmers, around 90% farmers, do the seasonal calving. So because of the season variation in the country. And the other most important part for vets, shift from the veterinarian, the treatment vets to performance consultant. That's a very important one, because as a veterinarians, we need to improve the performance and try to minimize the any disease or any other condition. So rather than just treating, we try to prevent and improve the productivity. So reduce antimicrobial misuse. That's also one of the major parts we can analyze from the data, and improve farm profitability. And that's mean the rural economy will grow, and provide data for the policy and investment decision. That's also very important part. And just a snapshot of what will happen in New Zealand, how big the New Zealand dairy industry is. Export income in 2024, that is roughly about $23.7 billion. It's about in 2024, 21 billions of liters coming out of from the 4.68 millions of dairy cows. Only just below the 5 millions of dairy cows. And the national production is, it's about from one cow under 5,000 liters. I saw that previous presentation, it says 9,000 liters, 8,000 liters from one animal in Holland or any other country. But in the New Zealand system, it's less than 5,000 liters per cow. And it's about the 10,370 dairy herds in 2024, and the average herd size was 451. And the milk price here, we get the milk price. Farmers will the price for the milk kilograms. We call the milk solid per kilogram. So it's about roughly $10.75. It's roughly equal to the 175 rupees per 1 liter. And that's the below mentioned what are the breeds and how many percentage in each breeds. You can see Holstein Friesian is the dominant one. It's about 61%, and some Jersey cows and the Ayrshire and the Holstein Friesian cross Jersey crossbred is the dominant one actually. And other few tips, seasonal calving patterns here, and the pasture-based production. Most of the, I can say around 70%, 80% of the diets coming from the roughages, and just the less, about 10%, 15%, 20% only coming from the concentrate part. So that's a major part in New Zealand system, because the land availability is very high, and strong KPI and benchmarking culture here. So farmers wants to benchmark the best farms around the area. They try to benchmark not for the whole country. So they try to find out the local farmers benchmarking, so then they'll go for, because the seasonal variations and the climate variation also there, so they try to stick around their area and benchmark their dairy herd compared to the best performing ones. And well-established beef market, that's a very important one if you want to increase your profitability as a country. And the strict government rules and regulations here. So farmers, at the end of the presentation, I will show how the government is strictly act on the farmers. And the other one is modern dairy technology and data-driven decision making. That's a very important part. And in New Zealand, we use the most of the time modern technology now. Each and every day, it's new things coming up, and the most of the times we use the lot of apps and artificial intelligence for the decision making and our day-to-day life. So it's very easy, and once the modern technology comes to the industry. And before we understand what's happening in New Zealand, we need to think about the what's happening in the temperature and how the grass growth in New Zealand. That's very important, because not like in Sri Lanka, our limiting factor is water, and here limiting factor is sunlight. You can see in June the new season starts. In June means June, July, August, that's the winter. You can see the grass growth from the top one, grass growth go drastically low because of the temperature goes down. You can see the minimum temperature in July, June, August, it goes below 10. Some area where I live, it goes around 4 degrees, 5 degrees, but not much into the minus levels. Only the mornings will go around -2, -3, -4, but not deep, not during the daytime it should come up. But the problem is, once the soil temperature goes below 10 degree, in ryegrass is the dominant grass in New Zealand. So around now 90%, 95% area covered with the ryegrass. So the ryegrass growth rates will go down drastically once the soil temperature goes down. At the same time, if the soil temperature goes above 23, the grass will start to die. So during the winter period, temperature goes down, the production goes down, grass growth, which means demand is high if the cows are in the milking season around here. So what we can do is the farmers have to dry off the animals regardless of where they cow. So I will explain in the reproduction management, because the seasonal calving pattern here. If the animals cow here, they can give the 10 months milking period, but because of the country grass availability, they don't have enough grass, so they had to dry off the animals. So that's a lot of milk. So what we can do is plan the reproduction at the right time, and let them cow at the right time, so then they can harvest more milk. This is a seasonal calving. You can see the most of the times animals will cow June, July. The majority of animals will cow in the herds July, whole July, August, September, which means animals are calving somewhere here. Now you can see temperature is going up, which is June, July, August means the winter, late winter. Animal will cow here. At the same time, cows will come to their peak milk production in 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks time. By the time that country temperature, also environmental temperature, will go high with the spring. Spring grass, you can see the grass production is going up. At the same time, animal production is going up. That is the place we want to cow the most number of animals, because to harvest more milk during the latter part of the lactation. So some farmers do for the split calvings. It's because winter milking payout is a little bit higher, so people wants to get that advantage. So if they have the right infrastructure and the feed available, so if they can make the enough silage to feed during this period, So some farmers, if they have the barns, like my previous farm, so we had we have winter barn, so then we can keep the animals inside and feed the silage during this period, so the farmers can get the more payout from the milk, because the other most of the 90% of the farmers animals are dry off, so that time the milk production is low, but the milk income is high. So some farmers do the split calving because to gain some uh, advantage during the winter period. Why the good data is matter? Because accurate and unique animal identification is very important, and the correct and consistent event, we need to record the events as I explained earlier. So we need to find out exactly the when animal is going to calve, because that will depend on our records. So we have to keep only the good animals, and if they are calving later, so we have to remove those animals also. So good record system is a must here. Complete and timely record for all events, minimal missing or duplicate entries, clear recording of treatments and outcome. That is very important part, because if any antibiotic milks goes to the milking collection, that means the tanker or the milk collecting centers, instant fine. It's about $80,000 fine, which means around, I would say 10 million Sri Lankan dollars. That's a very big fine. So people are afraid to get that one. So no any antibiotic milk we can't sell for any company. So that's a very important one. That's because of the all the data records and every milk's being tested. So we can't send any antibiotic milk. So the missing animals and duplicate recordings, or we have to keep it 100% right. If you treat any animals with that antibiotics or any other withholding products, so even for the meat also same. So they will check the meat withholding. So if you find anything, you will get a big fine. So for that one, the record keeping is must. And reliable milk production, pasture records, and everything is based on the numbers. I will show how we record these things and how we can analyze this, and how we manage those to improve our productivity. And the other most important things, that these data should be easily retrievable and analyzable format. If you have some data, if you can't analyze those because it is not easily available or if easily retractable, it's not a good data. So you have to collect those data and analyzable format. And the farm data categories. So what are the data categories we have? The most important one is animal identification and demographic. Other ones, reproductive events, milk production, budget, and financial data. That's the most important one. Health and treatments, as I explained. Feed and pasture management data, because I already explained the pasture management, how important here. And the fertilizer, effluent, irrigation data. The same, if irrigation effluent water goes to the stream, that means the natural water bodies. So farmers will get around $40,000 fine, instant fine, because South councils are very strict for the effluent, because they want to save their water. So because of that one, effluent is very strict here. Culling and mortality. Culling is most important part for your productivity improvement. So those data categories been analyzed with the artificial intelligence or any other software. So then easily retractable the data, and easily find out what we are doing wrong, how we are going to improve that one. The major one in New Zealand, that NICE system, which is National Animal Identification and Tracing System. This one is must for each and every animal holder. And it says, normally we call NICE system, which is the online tool used to provide fast and accurate tracing of night animals, which means night means the national animal identification. Each animal need to be registered in this system. And who uses this one? All the farmers need to be registered in night system. and they need to enter the old data. So then each and every animals in New Zealand, they have a record. So if you remove that number data, if you remove the tags, you have to replace it. If you lost that one, you have to replace it. If you have to move the animal, so from one premises to other premises, one properties to other property, so you have to do change in the system. So night recording system need to complete 5 steps. Register the animal. Registration is the just one step only. So if you register it, you have to register your location where you manage the night animals, and tag and register the animals, because once you tag it, you have to enter those one to the system and the record and confirm animal movements. If you move one animal from here to the freezer works, or that means the slaughterhouse, or even for the different farm, if you sell any animals, so you have to change in the system. That's a must. And your account up to date and recording health, recording death, loss, or export of night animals, updating your personal details. So that's a very important one. Every farmer in New Zealand, every cow, and the other one, every animals, sheep and the deers. But the sheep doesn't need the night tag for the each animal, but the deers and cows need to have the tag in the ear. So that's a very important one. But the each animal holder, which means that any livestock, you have to register your farm, not for the household one, but if you are doing as a business, you need to register that one, that animal. Even one animal or two animal, your premises need to be registered. And this one is the you can see from the left side, this is the night tag, which is the online we call the EID, so electronic ID. So this one will be recorded in the online system, so you can easily read the number from here. This is the tag reader, so you can read it and take the number, and this one can plug into your computer, or even through the Bluetooth. You can directly send this data into the cloud system. And data recording platforms we use here, most popular one is the LIC Mind Alive. That is the most farmers use this one, but some other other platforms also we use here. CRV, that's another reproductive management company, and Delpo, Alpro, those the Dilaval company, and Allflex, they have the Sense Hub. So all the color data, all the other management practices data, they go to the here, so they analyze this one. And the other one is a Holter. I will explain how the Holter works. Holter is the cow wearable one. So that's why you can see this one. This pasture being grazed, but not this side. So animal cannot pass this one, but no physical fences here. So all controlled by the virtual fencing because of the cow collar hanging from the animal. So that's the virtual fencing. Animal cannot cross this one. So we use this one in New Zealand. So very easy for the farmers. For the loose barn management system in even Sri Lanka, we can apply easily this one under the coconut triangle or anywhere. No need physical fences. You can apply this one in future in Sri Lanka too. And another one is cow manager, same like other data recording systems, and other was InfoVet. This one for mainly vets. Nowadays we are using this one. I'm just started my new job, so we use these platforms to get all these data. And if you get any pregnancy recordings, we all enter through this one. So this one can connect into the any software, so they will give the access to this one. So as vets us, we can collect the data, we can input this data, and it will go to their particular website, their own recording system. Mind Alive, CRV, this is the call I gave the Holter one, and the sensor hub, just few pictures. And InfoVet, we all for the management for the veterinarian. So once we go for the pregnancy diagnosis, here we go for the pregnancy diagnosis with the what we call ultrasound. no manual palpation here. So mostly it's about 400, 500 animals in each farm. So if we can finish that one in 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours, depending on their management practices, depending on their milking speed. And another one is cow management. I will explain how we use this one in New Zealand. And mating is the most important part because, as I explained earlier, regardless of where they cow, they have to dry off the animals at the start of June. So imagine any animal cowed here August, which means let's say the August, this animal can give another 10 months milking. If they get the pregnant at the right moment, we need to take the one calf for 1 year, so which means the last 2 months for the dry period, which means these animals need to be dried off. It's about the early June, July will be their dry off. And this one, imagine any animal cow here, so let's say the 15th of October. Theoretically, technically, this animal can give milk until August, but or at least late July. But because of the New Zealand system, we can't feed the animals during late spring and early July, early winter period. So people have to dry off their animals. So our aim is to pregnant these animals as a herd somewhere here. If these animals go here, their days in milk will be about 220 to 230. So in New Zealand system, we can't milk these animals as a herd 300 milking days, because some animals will cow here, some animal will cow here. So average comes maybe 260 days, not 305 days like in year-round calving. That's the most important, that's the most distracting part in New Zealand dairy farmers, because they can't milk 300 days each and every animal. The majority of animal need to be cowed somewhere here to harvest more milk. So to do that one, their mating should be very precise and very strict. So we can't give much more longer than 12 weeks or 8 weeks. So because if they get 12 weeks calving, so when they got 15 weeks milk mating, 15 weeks back. But regardless of where they cow, our dry off date is fixed in New Zealand farm system. So mainly most of the farmers will do the first 4 weeks of the mating. They will do the mating, AI, artificial insemination. So after that, so they will go for after the second cycle, after the 42 days, we'll go for another 4 to 6 weeks bull service. So if any animal not pregnant from here to here, these animals being pregnant with the bull service, their offspring coming from the moms do not keep for their replacement, because these animals will go for beef production. Only will keep the New Zealand farmers will keep these animals for their replacement, AI animals. That's how they improve their milk production each year by each year. How we manage that one, how we are going to find out these animals coming from the AI or bull service? By this one, animals markers, we call AI markers. If you see animals coming from these animals, Frisian or Jersey or whatever the breeds you do, as soon as you see these white face animals, so after that, which means your animals are born bull service. That's why we call here, after the first 4 weeks, 1 or 2 days or 3 days, we do the last mating with these semens. Once you see this one, we remove those animals for the beef production. So we need to collect each and every animal's data. So we put into the system, and we try to analyze those data very precisely, very strictly. And depending on their data, we need to do our cull or our management decision. We need to take those. Submission is very important. Submission means how many animals we submit. That means how many animals we inseminate for the animals. So here, first 3 weeks should be 90%, which means within 3 weeks time, 90% animals from the herd should be bred. The ideal rate is 90%. So ideal in-calf rate, which means the pregnant within 6 weeks period we need to keep 78%. Consumption rate, ideal rate is 60. If this one goes down, imagine your conception here go down, more animal will pregnant from here, which means their days in milk will be lower, because we need to make them pregnant somewhere here, then they will cow somewhere here. These animals will cow somewhere here, so they will lose their milk. Imagine here, let's say 500 animals here, 50%. Our ideal rate is 60% milk consumption rate, but it come as 50%, which means 50% of herds will be bred by bulls, which means these animals will cow somewhere here, 50% of your herd, which means, let's say 200 animals will short at least about 40 days, 30 days, 40 days in milk, because these animals will somewhere cow here, this animal will cow here. 40 days, 200 animals milk will lose. That's a big cost. That's why people need to gather all the good information somewhere here, pre-mating data, calving data, all the mastitis or the metabolic diseases. We need to prevent those, so we collect those information for our better mating results. This is another fertility focus report. So you already seen from the other presentation. We will get the from where you are, and we will get the benchmarking from where you are, where you want to go, and we can see how many star marks you get, the 96, 98, and your herd is 96. Our submission somewhere here, so we can focus. To get these reports, data recording is very important. So we need to give the data, right data and the very accurate data. So the computer system will analyze those and it will present to you. So we can use those imaging. I will show earlier. It's here. Here, reproduction data. As I explained, this is 2025, 3-week submission. Our aim was 90%. This farm is 94%, above the what we expected. So expect is 90, 96%, 95%. Imagine here you can see first few days, if they are going below the line, what we can think, okay, they are going below the line. So, okay, we won't wait until it comes up to 3 weeks and see whether it's achieved or not. No, we have to keep record here and keep analyzing and keep watching. And what we are doing here, how many animals comes and where we are going to end at the third of the week. So imagine now we notice somewhere here they are going, and you can see the very big jump here. How we can achieve that one from here to here, big jump? That should be definitely SIDA program. That's how from one or 2 days time, the submission went up. So that's how you think. Okay, once you are going below the line, okay, you have to think about, okay, you have to do some management practices, the veterinary interventions to boost your submission up. So keeping these records each week, we have to analyze that one. You have to feed those animals, feed those data, and go to the system and check. In calf, which means that you can see in calf means the pregnant rate, not in calf means empty rates, how many animals in not pregnant rate. So you can compare each year where you are, 2022 16%, 2025 18%. Okay, what we have done differently, so we can identify what we have observed, or keeping these records very important, and analyzing also important. And you have, as the animal owners or farm managers or the farm owners, always use this data and think about what's happening next week, what's happening next week, next month, and the next season, what we are going to. So 18% not in calf means 18% animal you have to remove these animals before the next season, which means 18, let's say 20% animals will go from their main herd. So that's mean imagine another dead animals or any mastitis animal, lame cows. These animals we need to get rid. That means maximum 20% or 25% herd will be replaced with heifers coming from the 2 years. So 25% in 4 years time, your whole herd will be fully refreshed, which means every year you replace the animals with 25%. So if you still think about the my percentage is this much and this much, we have to keep those animals. No, if they are not pregnant, you have to remove it. If they are not performing well, you have to remove it. Keep good reproduction data. Even though you get the good reproduction data here, once you get the new calf animals or good replacements, you have to remove the low producers. So because you up to the maximum number, once you stock your animals, so you can increase your cow number. So what we can do is you can taper down from the low production or high somatic cell count. So these animals, the data recording analysis is very important because of that one. And other one, not in calf rate in different age groups. You can see 2-year-old not in calf rate is 6%, which means the heifers coming from the new side, coming from the coming into the system. 2-year-old, they are 96% they got pregnant, which means let's think about the 9-year-old to 30% animals get not pregnant, which means once their age is going up, their reproduction goes down. So that's why at the same time, how the milk curve is going down, production is going down, their reproduction is going down. Good performance comes from 2, 3, 4 that period. So we need to keep these good animals and get rid of the old ones. Replace with the good genetics coming from the AI, coming from the artificial insemination. So that's how we keep our reproduction high. So you need to keep this and give these records and analyze. Even though these 9 years old animals get pregnant, okay, these animal pregnant, if their production is not enough, so we have to cull that animal. We do that one, keep those records and analyze. But imagine if you get the 25% or 30% in not in calf rate, you cannot remove those old animals. That's why you need to keep your reproduction results very good in good position. So imagine you this get the below 10%, then you can remove these non low producers or the old animals or any other defects cows. And other one, you can see the empty rates. So what are the health issues affect the pregnancy rates? So any stress animals, 34% not get pregnant. Mastitis. If you get the mastitis, mastitis not after the mating. This is during the mating period. Only the New Zealand mating period is 6 weeks to 12 weeks. Within that period, if any animal get mastitis, 33% their reproduction will go down. Same lameness or reproductive disorders, metabolic diseases, metabolic condition. If you find out any animals metabolically ill, so those animals around 18% will be not in calf. Empty animals will be not pregnant. So very important, identify those animals early stage. And this one you can see. This one is called the metri checker. We can pull out this one by inserting through the vagina and collect the vaginal mucus, so you can see how much pus. So this is the ideal one you need to we are looking for. This one is normal. This is the lochia. Normally some blood or maybe the matrix one. This metritis cases. So we need to treat these animals. So by using this one, easily we can identify. So we need to put those data into the system, analyze those data. If you see these animals keep coming the next year also, we call those animals. Other major part is the body condition. So this one easily we can use. Even any of you can download this app. You can go to the App Store or Play Store. You can download this one. But New Zealand system is 1 to 10. But we have to identify that one. This one is in Sri Lankan, I think it's 1 to 5 body condition scoring. New Zealand system is 1 to 10. So our aim is to keep the animals somewhere here at the time of carving is here 5.5. That Sri Lankan situation is a little bit different. And other thing you have to think about when you record the body condition, you have to think about the lactation, where they are, because depending on the where they are, this is the expected and actual body condition graph. Imagine this is the carving, where they carve. The highest one is the carving somewhere here. Their body condition should be somewhere here, and after the carving, drastically their body condition will go down because of the negative energy balance. So that's the normal situation. Once you go to Sri Lankan farm, if you collect the body condition without assessing their where they are in the lactation circle, lactation graph, it's inaccurate. So that's why only you can do the body condition and analyze those data in that certain period of lactation. So you need to identify which period they are and analyze according to that. So we do here, you can see at the time of the mating period, if their body condition is 3.5, imaging is 3.5, not in calf rate is 67%, which means if any 10 animals in 3.5, at least 7 animal will not be pregnant. Only the 3 animal will be pregnant. So analyzing the body condition is very important, and the keep those recording, feeding according to their body condition is very important before the mating period. After the mating period, so if you do not feed these animals according to the what their body is telling, and they may lose their pregnancy as well. So imagine these animals cow somewhere here, their body condition will drastically go down here. So they won't come for the next graph here. So very important, you need to plot your animals where they are according to the lactation curve, where lactation is stage. So managing is very important. So this is the annual, the graph we maintain here. We feed those data into the system, and in New Zealand system is the what do you call the uh, seasonal calving. So most of the animals in the same group, 8 weeks, 12-week gap period. So these animals somewhere here. In Sri Lankan situation, some pregnant animals, milking animals, mating animals, everywhere. So you can't plot that one, but you have to categorize those animals and analyze those data. I already explained this one. Regardless of where they cow here, dry off date here. That's why the pregnancy, that's why the milking periods, days in milks, not 300 in New Zealand, only 250, 260 animals. Other 60 days or 50 days, farmers will lose because they do not cow the animals somewhere here, somewhere here. So our aim is to collect the good data, analyze those, and keep the good reproductive performing animals somewhere here and make them pregnant somewhere here, let them cow here, milk until here. That's a very important one. Not like in New Zealand, Sri Lankan situation or any other country. In here, seasonal calving. Same graph. Imagine this one is the cow feed demand and this is the supply. Feed demand and supply is the most important part for the pasture supply and pasture demand. That's we call the pasture supply and demand curve. You need to know about the when you get your balance dates, which means that your demand cross the supply. From here, that's why our calving period starts here. So let's see this calving somewhere happens here. So their feed demand is high. So we can't feed these animals. Yes, we can feed, but once their milking curve, that's the lactation curve is going up, their production won't go up because we can't feed these animals. That's why we need to manage our animals reproduction very good and make them pregnant somewhere here, let them cow here. So then when the grass growth is going high, that their milk production will go high because of the early lactation. Once the lactation ends somewhere here, you can see. So this animal cow 1st of August. This animal can dry off somewhere here. Before that one, the same like I couldn't put the lactation curve also here. That's why latter part of the lactation curve will go down. At the same time, the milk production, the feed demand go down. At the same time, grass growth go down. So these feed surplus will make converted into the silage or baleage. and feed here. Very simple. That is the milk loss if you do not follow the line. So I already explained, if these animals, this is the gap, this is the ideal, the graph, this is the actual graph. You can see the ideal and difference between this one. This is the loss of milk if your animals do not get pregnant at the right time, because the dry off date is fixed. Here, if their submission and the conception rate is below that line, so you have to keep on track this and see how much milk you are losing, your animals are losing. So analyzing is very important. And heat detection plays a major role in New Zealand system. If these animals do not get pregnant, go for the meat product. So that's why very established beef market in New Zealand. So we export a lot of beef to other countries, Europe, any other into the world. So if they do not get pregnant, go for the meat production. So keep the good animals and keep improving the productivity. So tail paint we can use here, or cow paint here we call the heat patches. We use this one, and these are the wearables. A lot of wearable devices now in the country. So this is the all flex collar and some other collars. You can see this is the light one. So all these ones except this one, this is a manual one. So all these automated. So only we need to stitch these ones and put the collar on. Rest of things automated, so we don't have to do anything. All the sophisticated systems, so animals will be identified and will be drafted. Only we have to do the AI. This is the heat patch. The camera will identify once this one is activated. You can see the system will identify this one is missing or activated one, and which means missing means once the animal being ridden, that's mean the one other animals jump on, this one will be activated. When the paints will come out, the camera will identify that one. The system will say this animal is in heat. This animal heat, automatically draft these animals. Other one is the collar. The green line is the activity. That's the activity change. You can see from here and here exactly 21 days time the peak is going up. When their normal activity range is somewhere here is going on, suddenly activity goes very prominent level. So you can see peak activity level, these animals heat here and heat here. System will identify these movements, so will be drafted. And this also the breeding window, which means, as the Dr. Sameera explained, so the system will identify the ideal time for the sex semen. In New Zealand, in our system, we use sex semen based on the breeding window. So we'll try to do the right time. So if that animal is in red, means this is too late. Green and yellow is good. So if any animal is red, so we won't use the sex semen for this one, only conventional semen for these red animals. And keep recording all the milk data and everything, just a normal, and we can all the data. It's here: temperature, fatten, protein, lactose, somatic cell counts. You can see how much somatic cell counts is under 71,000 on this graph. So 71,000 on Sri Lankan situation, we observed about more than in New Zealand situation. Farm and the milk company won't accept this one reach to 400,000. If this one reached to the herd level 400,000, herd level, not the individual level, bulk milk sample, if this one reached to 400,000, milk will be rejected. So you have to drop down that one and sell. So we try to keep all the best quality milk only for the human consumption. So analyzing these data is very important. And I will go a little bit fast. It's closer to 4 o'clock now. And partial data also very important. the data will be analyzed and measured from the satellite view, or this is the race inflate meter. Someone has to take this one and take the measurement, or this one, the SIDAX means it's coupled here. So we can drive over the pasture, and the readings will be recorded and we can analyze. The other one is the satellite also give, and this is one of the picture from the pasture data, how much we offered, how much these animals eaten, everything is recorded. For this one, we offered for the animals 14 kilograms. These animals will be eaten 13.37. So everything is recorded. So you can analyze those data, and based on your data, based on your animal's performance, then we can calculate, okay, these animals enough or not. And pasture age, this is very important. Once you get the data from that SIDAX or satellite data, it's plot according to the highest growth rates to lowest. So you can think about which one to feed this one. And if this one goes above 3,500 kilogram per hectare, that is the hectare, then we call this the highest one for the silage production. So imagine this whole one come up to here, then we can think about how we are going to manage that one. So then we can shut these paddocks and start from somewhere here. If we have the favorable environment, favorable weather for the grass growth, so we can start from here and feed this graph here, pasture here, and make this all the pasture for the silage. So that's how we use our data. Other one is the cumulative growth. This one is the just 1 day growth, just 1 week growth. This one is the annual growth. So you can think about, so when these paddocks, this is the paddock growth rate, and how much they produce per year. So when this paddock is producing, it's about 900,000. So it's about the 10, it's about, yeah, it's a lot. But this one is producing small. This is less than 100. So we can think about regrassing this one. So that's how we analyze those data. Okay, when this one is producing, it's closer to 1,000, this one is producing 100. So this means need to be replaced these ones and do the cultivation and go for the next crop. And the virtual fencing, as I explained, these animals cannot go through here, no physical fences. All will be controlled by this wearable device we call the halter. Halter will give the vibration and little shock as well, little electrical shock. If the animals try to pass this one, give the little shock and will be pushed back. So they cannot escape this one. Very easy. Animals won't escape here. And same, this is satellite view from my farm here, my former farm. You can see that we can keep these gates open. Animal will be released by 4:15 a.m. So these animals will walk straight away, and these gates are open, and this is no physical fence. So this is the virtual fence. These animal cannot pass this one. So we can see how many animals here, for 506 animals, all data here. So we can analyze how many kilograms they have eaten the last night. So if they do not enough, so we'll increase, and that one. This one can be used for our loose barn system in Sri Lanka in future. So no need physical fences, only for the apps. Heaps of apps. We use around 10 apps, 12 apps for just one farm now. Animal health recordings, as the Dr. Sameera explained, everything will be recorded. Measure the treatment, withholding, meat withholding, return to vet, when we can start the selling this milk, very strictly monitored, and keep those data and use those data. And the same rumination data, activity data, grazing, moving, everything will be recorded based on this one. You can see this one, grazing. This is Peno, means sick animals. This is healthy animals. Healthy animals when graze around 600 minutes per day. These animals, Peno animals, it's about 450, 500. You can easily see their rumination is low. Their intake is low. these animals are sick animals compared to these animals. So first you need to validate your data according to your farm. It will depend how much the grass you offer, how much concentrate you offer, how much the NDF level offer your feed. So you have to validate into the data into your system first before you can't compare one farm to another farm without knowing feeding habits or how much we feed and without knowing the feeding data. So some animals data we cannot copy and paste from one farm to another farm. Each farm is individually monitored and individually need to take the decisions. Strict government rules. This is very important. I just converted this one into the Sri Lankan rupees to get an idea. This person $10,000 not declaring movement of night, which means one farmer do not declare these animals from one farm to another farm. This animal, this farm owner will be caught and given 1.5 million fine. This one also same. And if animal control, that's mean the animal welfare is very important here. So if you do not feed your animals well, the animal inspector, the from the MPI will come and inspect and will give the instant fine. This one is $1.7 million rupees. And this one, farmer and livestock agent illegally removed night tags. Night tag means the animal tracing and identification number. So if those animals are removed and get caught, and this person got 2.6 million Sri Lankan rupees fine, instant fine, and say the same. Then you can think about how strictly these people manage the animals, and that will be the same for the effluent as well. So if you find out for the effluent being released to the natural water sources, instant fine for 40,000. This one is 27,000, 4.2 million. So any farm do any violation will be fine. Discussion and how we can apply for Sri Lankan situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Iroshana. It was a very important and productive presentation. It added a lot of new things to us, and we gathered a lot of new information, especially practical aspects you have collected into the presentation. And you mentioned how the new technology and new AI tools are being used for advancement of dairy in New Zealand. So I think some of those techniques can be adopted in our condition also. And so now the floor is open for questions. And if you have any questions, you can directly ask from Dr. Iroshana.
Dr. Disna, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Yes, please. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Iroshana and Dr. Sameera, for very informative presentation. I have a small question for Dr. Iroshana. Iroshana, in 2016, when I visited New Zealand, they had this once a day milking, interest in once a day milking. So what is the situation now about this once a day milking in the dairies?
Actually, sir, once a day is just used when your grass growth is reduced or your grass growth is very low, or else you are not capable enough to do the twice a day milking because your herd numbers is very low, or it's depending on the farmer situation. If you do not want to involve for the complex milking system, so a farmer is happy to go for the small the once a day farming. But the most of the farmers go for the twice a day at least until the grass growth start to decline. So as I explained in my presentation, once the grass growth start to go down, so then you can think about okay, some farmers go for not only the once a day, sir. So they skip the they call the 16 hours. They do 3 times milking in 2 days. They just skip one day one milking just to cut down one feed allocation. So some farmers do the throughout the year once a day. Most of the farmers go for twice a day milking until they can feed their animals twice a day milking. So as soon as grass growth go down, so they will shift into the 3 milking in 2 days, which means the 16 hours. So if not, once a day, sir.
Okay, thank you, Roshan. Okay.
But if you go for twice a day to 16 hours, you wouldn't notice much milk production drop, because you already hold the animals, and less they are walking as well. So these animals can produce little bit less, like the not like the two times milking, but the reduction is very low.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for asking question. And any more questions from the audience?
And one more my comment. When
Yes,
we
sir.
imported these animals from New Zealand maybe 5-6 years ago, right? So most of the animals we received probably bull service ones. So I don't think they sell animals, AI animals. I think so they were animals which are bred by the bulls, because they don't have any information about the sire, if I can remember correctly, isn't it?
Yeah, that could be possible, sir, because the farmers do not sell their good animals in
Mm.
New Zealand situation. Because they are some farmers only use some farmers only, maybe I don't know percentage for the sex semen, but
Mhm.
most of farmers use the conventional semen, which means the
Right.
50% the animals will get the boys and girls. So their milk production, because the numbers go down, so they will only keep their good animals, so sell the rest of for the other countries, I think. But I don't know the situation, but most of the time that's the situation.
Right. Other thing I want to ask is the animals which are calving late in the season. Do you use this short gestation semen?
Yes, sir, yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It
So they are
was
usually calving like 260 or
10 days earlier, sir.
10. Yeah. I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
10
Okay.
days earlier.
So
If
those
can see
cows
this.
also go for meat, ne? Do you can't keep them?
Yes, sir. Can you see my presentation again, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's here's a short gestation 1 week here
Ah.
at the end of, because let's say these animals cow 10 days earlier. If around 10 animals cow earlier, which means 100 milking days. 10
Yeah.
animals 10 days. If
Mm.
that animal producing 2 milk solid per day, that's 200 milk solid.
Yeah.
If one milk solid is 10 milk $10, that's 2,000 milk solid. Two thousand
Yeah.
dollars.
Yes. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Mm. Mm.
that's a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Uh,
Iroshana, that
can I ask a question, Dr. Disnagar?
yes, please.
Yeah, Dr. Iroshana, what's the maximum or minimum somatic cell count they take into account when they do the payments? Average?
Yeah, the best quality they say it's less than 150,000. So if it's reached to 400,000, milk will be rejected. After 100, I think after 200, as the bulk milk solid, somatic cell count, according to the number, they will go for the penalty system as well. But I can't remember how much exactly. But I definitely know more than 400,000 bulk milk testing. If it is more than 400,000, milk will be rejected, regardless of how much you produce.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Any more questions? Meantime, Dr. Iroshana, what are the apps? I mean, you mentioned several programs like LIC, Minda, MyHerd, Holt. Other than that, what are the apps those farmers are using? You said that about 10, 12 apps are being used in one
Yes.
single farm. Can you
Uh,
name a few?
yes, we can. If anyone wants to use that one interesting one, I already showed the body condition score. So you can
Yeah.
download body condition score. Other one is
That
other
comes as body
ones.
condition score. That app name?
Yeah. Just body
It's body
condition
condition
score,
score.
news, and everything is based on New Zealand, what we call the dairy NZ. So if you go to dairy NZ, so most of the apps you can download, even for the lameness recording app and body condition recording app. Other one is we use here the LIC one, and other one the effluent management, your wearable one, that's we call the Holter, and any other milk monitors. That means we can monitor our wet, which means the milk refrigeration, and we can set up the alerts for the temperature. If the temperature is going up more than 6 degrees, 7 degrees, 8 degrees, you will be notified instantly. So then you can take the actions before milk get spoiled, because the milk won't get accept at the time of the accepting about 12 degrees. So ideal situation is 4 degree, but if your milk is over 12 degree, never it's going to accept again. So because of that one, farmers, most of, I would say 99% farmers, they are the vets being insured, as well as the setup for the alert system, and get the notification as soon as your temperature is going up.
Mhm.
And
And that
other apps, it's according to the what are the management tools you use for
okay,
the
fine.
management for
So
the effluent, or basically it's depending on the what are the management practices you use, the or the collar system, or the even for the TMR system we use in my previous farm. So we use the those ones, so we can put into the system through our phone, so the mixer will do the rest.
right. Good, good. So then, Dr. Iroshana, that tracking that night system, that number is given by the government. Am I right? That
Yes.
for each and every animal.
Yes.
So the number is given by the government. So so the same
Yeah,
number is.
the number, we don't have to do anything. You have your management number is different one. This one
Mhm.
is only for the system number. So you can change the your management number just like any animals here. This one's only electronically. So you don't have to
Oh,
use this number for your management number. This animal is number 2. This animal is the calf ID. So once you this, if you want to change the animal's number, you can, but you have to link this number to this one.
like in the Pro programs, that chip itself generating the number, right?
This one already has the number.
Uh-huh.
The any number we can link into the this system.
Uh-huh.
Let's say this one has the eight digit number. Let's say one
Mm-hmm.
one 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 one, and you want to replace these animals with 400, cow number 400, cow
Mm.
number 400. Scan with that, with this one. Scan this one and put
Mm.
into the system. As this one says the calf ID. Once this one become a mature one, same calf ID, but the different management cow number.
Right.
Yes.
That management count number you can change.
Yeah. Yeah. Even you can change this one if, let's say, this one is the damage, or this one is being
Mm, mm, mm.
taken off. So if this one is not working, we can remove this one, but we have to declare it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like in Delpro programs, no? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Only the things, if you do anything, notify it or
No.
record it. Yeah.
Mm. Right. Any more questions from participants? All right. I think the time is also past now. So, uh, so I think we could deliver a good presentation to these two important and very eminent resource persons, Dr. Sameera Premarathne and Dr. Iroshana Kulathunga. So I think we had a nice time, and it was very productive day today for the participants. And this session will be available, and it was recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel in future. And so first of all, I must thank Dr. Iroshana and Dr. Sameera for accepting the invitation. This topic was selected through a survey we have done as SLVA. We have done a survey among our members, and they have given this topic the advanced dairy analysis for a webinar. So that's how we selected and chosen and carried out this presentation today. And so once again, I thank you both for your commitment and dedication during this presentation very well. And I know it's night time and midnight in your areas. So now it's time to wind up the session. So for the vote of thanks, I would like to invite one of our assistant secretary, Dr. Yushika. Dr. Yushika.
Thank you, Dr. Disnaga. Distinguished guests, fellow veterinarians and colleagues, on behalf of Sri Lanka Veterinary Association and all the participants gathered here today, it's my absolute honor to propose this vote of thanks. Today, we have been treated as to a masterclass in the future of our industry as we look forward to modernizing the Sri Lankan dairy sector. The insights shared by our two eminent speakers have provided us with both a global perspective and a practical roadmap. First, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to Dr. Sameera Premarathne. Dr. Sameera, your session on advanced dairy record analysis was an eye-opening. Coming to us with the prestigious background of Obihiro University, you've shown us that data is not just numbers on page, it is heartbeat of evidence-based decision-making. So thank you so much, Doctor. And also our thanks goes to Dr. Iroshana Kulathunga. Your deep dive into the New Zealand dairy system offered a fascinating look at what is possible when technology like cow collars and satellite pasture analysis meets strict regulation frameworks. So thank you very much, Doctor. So in conclusion, both our speakers, thank you for your time, your expertise, and your willingness to give back to Sri Lankan veterinary community. I also want to thank the Sri Lanka Veterinary Association for organizing committee for facilitating this knowledge exchange, and the participants for your active engagement. Let us take these insights back to our clinics, our farms, and policy-making tables to drive Sri Lankan dairy industry forward. So thank you once again. And also good night and have a good day. So we'll meet back with another good session in the coming few days. So hope you will join us to that session as well. Thank you.